Yo team, how's it going? So this first part of this video is just going to be a little sit down talk of me kind of just explaining my leg routine at the moment, how I've managed to get some growth from my legs, because I really do struggle with leg development. My legs are quite strong, well at least I think they're quite strong for what they are, but they don't seem to grow. I've got like chicken legs, they just seem to not grow. So I'm just going to run through a couple of things that I've noticed that has helped me and potentially could help you in the future. A good way to obviously target your legs, more in fact, and it's just a nice way of just training your legs without doing squats. Now squats are a brilliant exercise, I'm not going to take that away from that, but they do get a bit boring after a while and they do put a lot of pressure onto your spine. And just kind of run through the training, a couple of things that you could do to your training to make it harder and potentially get more growth out of your legs. So if you are struggling like me to put on some size, hopefully you'll get some tips from this video and you can take it away, because that's what this channel is about. It's education, and most importantly just documenting my life and showing you guys what I'm about. So just going to go into a voiceover now and just talk about my leg workout. Apology guys, if the sound is crap, I forgot my microphone, so I'm having to talk into the apparator and I think it's going to be rubbish, but we're going to go with it because that's like the type of guy I am. Just chuck myself in the deep end. So you can see here I am doing some back squats. So why have I not been doing any back squats? Well, the main reason is I've been doing them for years. And I've just fallen out of love with them. They are an exercise that you need to do all the time. It's not an exercise where you can just do it, take a little break from it, and then try and lift the same amount of weight. You need to be very consistent with it. And to be honest, like I said, I just want a new change. I've been training a few different gyms now, just utilising their bits of equipment. That's not to say that I won't be doing squats in the future. Just at the moment, I'm enjoying the training with machine-based equipment. The reason why, again, the biggest reason is spinal load. When you squat, it puts a lot of pressure onto your spinal column, your spinal cord. So if I can, and I will opt to use a machine just to mimic the amount of pressure going throughout my spine. So that's why I'm not doing any squats. A great exercise for those that obviously want to do free weights is this Bulgarian split squat. I'm still doing these. These are absolutely dreadful. They're brilliant. You can use a bench, but I've just found it easier just to use a barbell and rest my foot on there. Believe it or not, it is not comfortable. I don't recommend it. You've got to suck up and do it, but that's why I'd always recommend using a box. The great thing about this is it's what we call unilateral in the fitness industry. Basically, it just means that you're independently working one side. So if you have one leg stronger than the other, I'd recommend do some unilateral exercises just to build the strength up on the other leg. These are great for obviously coordination, and most importantly, it's just help with strength. Again, if you are working at home now that gyms are reopened and some of you aren't going back to the gym, I'd recommend doing these Bulgarian split squats. They're a killer, and if you want to make it a bit harder, maybe do about 10 reps with it, then drop the weight and then try and do as many reps as you can without it. Like I said, this exercise is really good for someone that's training at home and they don't have access to any machines, and this is a good way of obviously burning off your legs at the end of a workout. You just got to make sure you've got your balance on point and you can stick to it and endure the pain. So next off, we have a leg extension. I've put the pad midway up my shin, just obviously to decrease the amount of pressure going out through my knee. So if you have the pad really low, it's going to create a lot of tension onto your knee. So to obviously reduce the amount of pain going out throughout the knee, just move the pad further up. Again, making sure you're holding hold of the handles, that's quite tricky to say, and make sure you're fastening and making sure you are training to your limits. So you can see here, I've turned the volume off, but I'm groaning a little bit because the pain is real, and this bit of old school kit, the foam pad as such, where I've got to put my legs on, is not fun. Next, moving on, we have the seated hamstring curl. This is a nice bit of kit on here, to be honest. I'm just adjusting the weight because obviously it was a little bit too light or a bit too heavy. I think it was too heavy on this one. But again, you just got to make sure it's all fastened down. So again, the reason why people do machines is you can indirectly train the muscle in which you want to do. So when you're doing your big heavy compound lifts like your squats, you are targeting your hamstrings and your glutes. By doing this machine here, I'm just focusing on my energy on my hamstring, trying to lengthen and shorten the muscle and make sure that I'm putting it under constant tension. Now, obviously with machines, they have drop-off points. So at the start of the weight, it's very hard. And then as you get towards the end of the motion, it does change. Now, this does differ from machine to machine. So some machines are easier at the top, harder at the bottom, or vice versa. But if you want to target your hamstrings using free weights, I'd recommend doing maybe an RDL, maybe put a plate underneath your toes to elevate your feet. That would be a good way to target. Or the next thing is to lay on a bench and put a dumbbell in between your legs and then curl up. So that's a great option that you can do if you're not in a gym. Now onto the leg press. And I see this so many times, people don't know what they're doing with it. First of all, please do not lock your legs all the way out, because it gives me the heebie-jeebies and you potentially run the risk of actually hyperextending your legs and your legs snapping. And if you want to see that, go onto a YouTube channel and see it. It is disgusting. Sorry, I'm going off topic there. So leg press, where to put your feet. So as you can see where my stance is now, I'm targeting my quads, so the front part of my legs. If I was to bring my legs out a little bit wider, it'd be more glutes and abductors. Or if I bring my feet all the way up to the top of the leg press, that'll be hamstrings. So depending where you put your feet on the leg press, kind of dictates what muscle groups you're trying to work. So like I said, have your feet nice and close together, shoulder width apart, nice and low down to the bottom of the platform. That will be your quads. What you don't want to do is go so deep into the leg press that your bottom kind of shoots off the pad, because that'll put a lot of pressure onto obviously your spine. It's rounding it. It's not good form. And most importantly, you're going to be taking away from the quads. Also, Scott's pushing me down to make sure, obviously, I'm glued into the pad and I'm not wasting energy. So we're now moving over to the hack squat. This is one of my personal favorites, and this is something that I'm going to be adding into my program and keeping consistent. It's nice because unlike a squat, it's not kind of spinal loading, so the weight isn't going directly through my spine, it's on my shoulders and going throughout the body. I would recommend that anyone starting to lift should always do free weights first, so they learn the mechanics on how to lift. Once you've done your dues, and what I mean by that is once you've created maybe a year to 2 years worth of training consistently and progressing, then I'd look at moving over to machines. Now, machines are a lot more safer. You can progress a little bit more. And to be honest, it just gives you the opportunity to really target those lagging muscle parts. So basically, if you're new, kind of stick to your free weights, add a little bit of isolation at the end. Or if you really want to progress your training, just stick to the machines. But to be honest, I think you should get the best of both worlds, incorporate both of these into your workouts. If you haven't already seen, there is a daisy chain and resistance band attached to this hack squat. That's just to obviously help me out of the hole at the bottom. So the toughest part about this hack squat is going down to the bottom, because once you've hit the bottom, it's hard to get back up. So I've got a little bit of tension on that resistance band to help me back up. But like I said, really enjoying the hack squat at the moment. Progressing on that. Last week my feet were a bit too wide, so this week I've narrowed my stance and just really enjoying it. If you had the audio on this, you could hear me. I'd probably about giving birth, to be honest. Some of these last reps really sucked it out of me. If I could give you any advice on lifting, is do not go super deep. Your body will have a limit on how far it wants to go, and over time you can get deeper and deeper. It's all down to mechanics. So some people are more flexible than others. Some people can go grass to ass, so they can go all the way down. Some people can't. In order to perform an exercise, you need to take it for the full range of motions, all the way down and up. And like I said, this differs from person to person. I could jump on there. I could probably go all the way down. I could have someone else that could only go to 90 degrees. That's fine. Just do what you can. Don't overcompensate for it. Most of the time when people do struggle to get a full range of motion, it's just down to their mobility. So if you were to do some mobility maybe at the beginning of your workout, so loosening off your ankles, significantly improve the quality of your lifts and most importantly help with your progression. So again, take the time before you work out do a bit of mobility, and you'll be fine. Also, making sure that you're training to your full potential. I see so many people leaving half-assed reps or not pushing themselves. In order to get better, you need to get outside your comfort zone. And for me, genetically, I haven't got big legs. I haven't been gifted with big legs, so I've really got to suck it up and pushing it. So this last exercise here is a pendulum squat. I've only used it. This is the second time of me using it. Never used one in the past, and I'm absolutely in love with it. This one, not too not too sure. I know the grow room where I'm training at the moment, they have got another pendulum squat coming, so I'll be super excited to use that. That would be the Atlantis one, but in the meantime, I'm just progressing with this one. I think I've only got about 30 kilograms, and it's more than enough, guys. This exercise is brilliant because I can feel it throughout my quads. I'm probably getting about 4 reps in, and then I'm absolutely struggling from there. If I could ask you one thing before I get to the end of the video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. That's just a little shout out. Please, it would help out massively. But yeah, this pendulum squat, again, it's a hard exercise. This one, the pad's a bit short, but again, I'm really enjoying it, and I feel like it's massively helping my leg development. YouTube video now, fingers crossed you've enjoyed that. It's a different kind of video that I've put out there. Just thought it'd be a good one. Hopefully get a few more information out there. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe to my channel. That would help out massively. If you could also like the video and comment the word front squat underneath it, so I know you've watched the video and you've enjoyed it. That's going to conclude the video. Like I said, hopefully you've enjoyed it, and stay tuned to the next one because I've got something real exciting to tell you. So anyway, keep it real, and I'll catch you in the next one.